Welcome to WatchMojo UK, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Eurovision fails. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're going to be looking at the most disastrous songs and blunders seen on the Eurovision Song Contest over the years. Let us know in the comments which one you would give 0 points. Number 10, PIERO and the MUSICSTARS. The competition went to Turkey in 2004 for the first ever Eurovision with a semi-final.
Clap your hands, oh clap your hands. Everybody just clap your hands. Clap your hands, oh clap your hands.
It was during this semi-final that Switzerland saw one of its most embarrassing entries in history with the song Celebrate. The performance didn't have too much production value, with the dancers looking like they were just wearing whatever clothes they rocked up in that day. Not to mention PIERO smacking himself in the face with a mic.
All your friends are riding by your side.
On top of that, the song just wasn't very good. It wasn't catchy, memorable, and the backing singers in particular were completely out of tune.
Everybody let's celebrate. Celebrate, oh celebrate. This world is a beautiful place. Clap your hands, oh clap your hands.
PIERO ended up getting 0 points for Switzerland. It seemed they celebrated too soon. Number 9, Diplomatic Incident. Eurovision has a long history of joke entries, where countries will put together baffling and oftentimes bad performances. But that wasn't the reason Israel sent a comedy duo to Eurovision in 1987. That happened because the double act, the Lazy Bums, ended up winning Israel's public selection process by dressing as the Blues Brothers and singing a nonsense chorus. Israel's culture minister at the time, Yitzhak Navon, was very unhappy with the choice and threatened to resign in one of these stranger instances of politics affecting the competition. However, the Lazy Bums came 8th in the end, a pretty good result. Number 8, KREISIRAADIO. The Estonians sent comedy group KREISIRAADIO to the competition in 2008, in another case of a parody entry, winning the national selection process. Nobody threatened to resign this time, but it was a disastrous result for the country nonetheless. Despite having the backing of Estonia's public behind them, the comedy trio and their song Leto Svet was the second worst performing song of that year, coming 18th in the semi-final with a grand total of 8 points, most of which came from Finland, probably because some of the lines were sung in Finnish. The performance was just too strange, featuring bizarre antics with a piano and other nonsensical set pieces. Number 7, DUSTIN the Turkey.
Rag accent, bad accent, Terry Wogan's wig. It was mad accent, sad accent, it was Johnny Logan's gig.
Again in 2008, this time Ireland sent a baffling joke entry to the contest. Children's television star DUSTIN the Turkey, a puppet, was selected to represent the Irish that year in a controversial move. It's definitely a bouncy, catchy song you won't forget in a hurry, but that didn't mean much for Ireland's chances since DUSTIN failed to get through to the final.
Hello ABBA, hello Bono, hello Helsinki.
Most of the song involves DUSTIN saying hello to various other countries, apparently appealing to them for votes, while also making digs at Terry Wogan. Despite these appeals, Dustin was still widely booed as soon as his performance was over, probably because he was a puppet in a shopping trolley.
And don't forget the Swiss. Cheers. Did we win? Go on, you good thing.
Number 6, backing tape fail. The very first entry of the night in 1990 was Spain, with the song Bandido, performed by musicians Azúcar Moreno. But a catastrophic technical issue could have sunk Spain's chances for good early on. And going on first is already difficult at Eurovision. The orchestra and the backing track got desynchronized somehow, which led to the singers completely missing their cue to start singing. They walked off stage, leaving their band behind with no explanation, baffling audiences at the time and creating a very awkward silence. Since the malfunction wasn't their fault, they were allowed to start over and perform the song properly, coming in 5th. Number 5, LATVIAN. Once again, a popular comedian won a national talent show and got to represent their country at Eurovision, this time LATVIAN, representing Austria in 2003. Alf ended up finishing in a very respectable 6th place with over 100 points, but it's difficult to see why. His dancing was incredibly bizarre, and he was surrounded by highly unusual cardboard cutouts, including one draped in the American flag, despite most Americans having absolutely no interest in Eurovision since the US isn't involved. And what was Alf's popular song about in the end? Animals, for some reason. Number 4, Latvian Pirates.
Hoisting a flag to be free. We will steal the show. Jolly Rogers go. We are wolves of the sea.
The final entry from 2008 on our list, strange year as it was, comes from Latvia, when they attempted to capitalize on the worldwide pirate craze and made a song entirely about pirates called Wolves of the Sea. Of course though, this being Eurovision, they submitted more Europop instead of going all the way with the pirate theme and putting out a sea shanty.
Down to the core, we're coming for more with a so close and ten. Ha ha! We are scary and bold, our chest full of gold.
Something so different definitely could have won the competition, as Alexander Rybak would show the following year, but despite the gimmick, Latvia just wasn't brave enough. They came in 12th in the end, despite unprecedented support from Ireland. Number 3, James Newman.
Sometimes I know my fire burns low, but as long as you're with me, I'll never get cold.
After a year's hiatus following the global pandemic, Eurovision was back in 2021, and the UK sent a singer whose song was themed around the end of lockdown. It also happened to be the UK's first entry since Brexit happened in January 2020, which certainly wouldn't win the Brits any points from Europe. And that's exactly what happened.
You and I gonna light up the room. Out of the embers, there's a fire burning for you.
The song was bland, and James Newman, despite his best efforts, just didn't have a lot of vocal range, not to mention the fact he was supported on stage by 2 enormous trumpets for some reason. It was the UK's second of only 2 null points results in history.
Europe! Yes, come on! We love you, Europe!
Number 2, We Are the Winners.
We are the winners.
We are
the winners.
we are.
It takes a lot of guts to bring a gloating song called We Are the Winners to Eurovision, a notoriously unpredictable competition. But that's exactly what Lithuania did in 2006, perhaps hoping that if they said it enough, they'd actually win.
We are
We are the winners of Eurovision.
we are.
It was sung by LT United, a supergroup made of Lithuania's best talent, expressly to win the contest. They made it to the finals, but it seemed people didn't particularly like their smug attitude, boasting about having already won that year's contest.
We are the winners of Eurovision.
We are.
The winners ended up finishing 6th, but although that isn't a terrible result, it's definitely embarrassing to pen out this song and then lose.
We are the winners of Eurovision.
Vote!
Number 1, Gemini.
Your love is gone, and I don't want to cry anymore.
We said there was only one other time beyond 2021 that the UK received 0 points. That other time was in 2003 when we sent Gemini to represent us on the European stage. It was supposed to be a standard Eurovision fare. It probably wouldn't have won, but nobody thought it would do so poorly.
Bye bye, baby. You lied to me, baby. I must have been crazy, baby. Bye.
But when Gemini started to perform, it was clear they were incredibly off-key, which they later blamed on technical issues behind the scenes.
Cry, baby. Lie to me, baby. Survive without you, baby. Baby, bye, baby.
Whatever the reason, 2003 marked the beginning of the end for the UK's chances in Eurovision. In the decades since, Great Britain has performed consistently terribly.
Cry, baby. Cry, baby.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo UK and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.